Hello my beautiful people and welcome to Brush Strokes with Namita. Today for the first time I'm gonna be showing you on camera how makeup looks are done on paper. The idea of doing this is for you to be able to understand the way the brushes move on the eyelids and also to see how pigment can be properly placed on the eyelid to create different eye looks. For this particular look, we're gonna go with the smoky green eye look with a green shimmer foil, just to give a pop to make it look really classy and fancy, something that you might want to use on a club night or some formal event you have. So without further delay, let's get right into it. For the first thing, I'm going to be taking a sheet of paper. I'm showing you a basic layout of the face that I'm going to be using. Here, I'm going to be using a Revlon liquid foundation. It's the Touch Glow foundation. It is really liquid, so it worked really well for me on paper. Next up, I'm going to be starting with the Milagro Satin sponge. This is a great sponge for anyone who uses liquid foundation. It is super soft. I'm going to start by dipping into the foundation I've taken on the plate. And I'm going to start applying this to create a flat base before I dip into my eyeshadow palette. I would also recommend this to anyone who's doing their base before their eyeshadow to create a flat surface for your eyes. Next, I'm going to be using the NK Makeup eyeshadow palette. This is the Lucky Charms palette, and with the round Morphe brush, I'm going to be dipping into the darkest shade, which is the brown. And in circular motions, I'm going to start putting the pigment in my crease. From the outer corner of my eye, I'm going up into the crease in back and forth and circular motions. I am doing this in order to make sure that everything is nicely blended. After this, I'm going to be dipping into the darkest green that there is in the palette, and with a flat fluffy brush, I'm going to be dipping into the eyeshadow palette. I'm taking a lot of pigment because paper requires a lot of pigment. For your eyes, you will not need to. And in dabbing motions, I'm going to start placing the pigment from the outer corner of my eye, and then eventually using round motions, I'm going to be starting to blend this towards the inner side of the eye. I'm also going to be stroking this outwards a little bit to create a little bit of a cat eye to give a sharp and a sleek look. I'm making sure that I'm blending this nicely with round motions. Next up, I'm going to go in with the same Morphe brush I used earlier without picking up any pigment, just to make sure that the two shadows are nicely blended. After this, I'm going to be dipping into the brown I used earlier once again in order to create a little bit more of a smoky effect. And again, on the outer sides, I'm going to start by placing the pigment. Next, I'm again using the second brush I used, which was a flat fluffy brush, and using the darkest green, I'm going to be increasing the intensity of the green. Next, I'm going to be using the second darkest green shade, which is kind of like a turquoise teal, and I'm going to be using another round fluffy brush. This one is from BH Cosmetics. Starting to place this from the center of the eye towards, again blending it in towards the inner side of the eye to create an ombre effect. Next, I'm using a flat concealer brush from a Morphe brush set, and I'm starting with a MAC paint pot. This is in the shade Soft Ochre. I'm going to start by dipping in and from the inner corner of my eye towards the outside. I'm going to carefully start placing this pigment from the inner corner of the eye, moving towards the outside, making sure that I have a clean cut crease. I'm going to make sure that I'm very carefully placing the pigment near the crease line and just trying to create a flat base. This technique basically helps the foil shimmer shadow to really stand out. That's basically what we are looking for in this particular look. Next, I'm going to be using a different flat concealer brush. This one is from BH Cosmetics. I'm going to be dipping into the green shimmer foil shadow. And I'm going to carefully start placing it over the areas that I placed the paint pot earlier. I'm going back in with the round blending brush with which I had created the ombre effect. I'm going to use that to blend the foil shimmer shadow with the matte just to create an evenness in the eye. You can go as dark as you want with your shimmer foil shadow. If you're not satisfied with the shine of the shimmer foil, you can always go in with more. Next up, I'm going to be using the Kylie Cosmetics black Kajal pencil, and I'm going to start by placing this in as an eyeliner on top of the eye. With an angular Kylie Cosmetics brush, I'm gonna start smoking this out in order to give that sharp, sleek look, kind of like a cat eye. You can use a liquid liner if you prefer. I am using this because I kind of feel more comfortable with the Kajal pencil. Next, I'm gonna go back in with the first brush I used, which is again a round Morphe brush, in order to just blend out all the harsh lines that are visible in the crease. After this, I am going to use a round bullet brush, which is the Morphe B72. I'm going to be using this brush to give an inner corner highlight. I am creating a V in the inner corner so that it gives a really sharp, sleek look, the kind of look that we are going for. I'm also going to be using the same brush and applying the highlighter underneath the brow bone. I'm going to be changing the angle for you to be able to see this. Next, I'm using the Benefit Brow Contour Pro to create brows, since I do not have any on this sheet. Please excuse my drawing of the brows. I know that they are not very even, but this is again just for reference. Please feel free to fill in your brows however you prefer. I'm just gonna use the bullet brush once again to enhance the highlight that I have given underneath the brow bone. And after this, I'm gonna go back in with my Kajal pencil to create eyelashes. The reason I have done this is because if I was to place eyelashes on paper, I would not be able to do that because the size of the eye is far bigger than what the normal eyelashes size that is available in the market. So with that, I'm gonna finish off this look. So I hope you use this look sometime in the future for any of your outings or just to practice. And with that, we are done with our final look. This is the final look. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're gonna like this, subscribe to my channel, follow my page. If you have any questions, any queries, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, or you can DM me, whatever you prefer. And do try this eye look and let me know how it works for you. Thank you, and see you in the next one.